Right, guys, I'm just setting this up. So, just get my bearings. So, I'm replaying the 23rd, yep, of December for good reason. So, I've picked a kind of trend day that's the price action is a bit easier, especially on here. So, right now, I'm using ATAS because I can use the replay function for free. This is not my normal trading platform, which is Jigsaw. And the reason I've got Jigsaw is because my ladder's plagued with levels. I've got no idea how you get the levels into this, so I'm not quite doing that now. So what we're actually going to go over is just, how the tape works. So you'll see in a couple of minutes, I started this at 14:25, so a couple of minutes it'll sort of spring into life. Right now it's Globex and we're quite short, if I remember. I can see the last print was down here at 13:25 at Globex. But we're not really going to go through that. We're just going to sort of eyeball this and see what's going on. I'll just unlock this ladder. So a pre-market bid starting to come in. So ES, NQs, they are correlated markets, but don't. Um, this year, 2026, they've not been doing that. You look at a long-term chart zoomed out, and they look like they're doing the same thing. They've kind of not been. It's actually been tricky this year to correlate both of them. And they're two different animals. This is a spicy fucker. Um, This one has thicker money, so it's a bit more dainty. A lot of people don't like it. I prefer it because you can get size through the market. I don't really touch this with size. With a fuck? I've got a one lot here. I'm on my PA accounts. Even, a massive eval account. I'd be fucking lucky if I even done two. It can take a lot of money off you quickly. And it's quite hard to read here. So all we're looking at now is, so this is the histogram. Why is it missed out my bids here? Fucking thing. Right, so just let it sort of breathe into itself and then we'll go over it. Open any minute soon. So Globex was really, really short. If I remember rightly, especially been down here. So the grey is the last traded tick. NQ is the same actually. So we're down here as well. You'll see the volume profile start to light up. I've set it so that it only refreshes at RTH. I don't know why ATAS has a big fucking problem with that. Blows me. But it is decent, ladder software for the price. I think it's like €70 a month, it is decent. The ladders are good. It's just the only thing it's missing is my levels. I can get them on a chart, but I don't like that. So there's the market opened. So we know it opened here, which was 69.20. So you see it just running away there, So this is shorts covering the now. Like short, anybody that was short is just bailing. How do we center? Center's there. So what I want to do, this white box is VWAP. So let's just pause it here for a second, right? So Globex was extremely short, and the first people into the open will be the short coverers, so they'll be bid now. So it's flew up. So a lot of people will chase that and think, oh shit, it's going up, bang, I'm in, and then just zip, back down. You're fucked. Um, So what we've really got here is, obviously this is a volume profile. Um, things is usually kind of wide. Oh, in fact, sorry. So On the volume profile, you'll see the orange is basically the current value. I mean, it's just open, so don't read into that. The red is a point of control where most volume was done in the market. The blue's outside value, but like I say, it's just opened, so don't worry about it. This one is just a bid-ask profile, so this is the combination of all trades at price. 420, here it's 690, what's that, 69.19 dead. And then we can see the split here, so there was 332 and 368, so they sort of get outbid there a little bit, not much. In fact, they did 295 here and then 368 there, so they've been outbid. So the only thing that matters, let's not actually put my bid in here, idiots. Right, we've got it here in the yes, that's the main thing. So what we've got here is volume profile, the price. Next column is buyers waiting to buy. So they're putting, they've put a bid in the market. If I put one there, it will highlight here, it will stay here until the market comes down, it will tag it, boom, I'm in. There we go. Good stuff. And here's your selling book. So there's a bit of nuances with this. Maybe we'll see it as this replay plays out, maybe we won't. But the thing that you're interested in is these middle two columns called the market, or the inside print. So this is what's moving the candle. Nothing else is moving that candle. All candles move, all indicators, the whole fucking shooting match is being driven out of this. Not that, not that, not that, not that. This here. It's the only thing that is printing. So just out of, just eyeballing this one out. So I've selected a histogram to come on so we can sort of see what's going on. You'll see the low here, about 332 to sell, was quickly outbid. So that gives you the sort of scale of it. When you see the larger bars, life gets a bit easier. Don't overly need it. I don't kind of use it on Jigsaw, but it has a nice wee function. So that's the quick rundown. Now you'll see the difference here. This is a thicker book. And you'll see how it's printing, the average printing NQs. I mean, it is just the autumn, so it'll be bigger numbers than usual. But you'll see how it sort of plays out as we go through this. I'll just hit play again and we'll see how it works. So we opened at, so we actually opened at 19s and we've just basically had a sort of straight drive up. Yeah, but it's going. So I would expect us to come back before anything. You can just see the buyers. They're just banging into the bid. They're just banging into the offer here. Center that. Hmm. See how the wee bit of sell there? 432. Let's see if he holds it. Right. Too soon, Paul. So go there. And we want to go out quick. We want out. No, there's a little ledge, so maybe we'll just take it out there. I can see that seller turning back up. Mate, he's being matched, so let's just let it play out. Point of control's rising, which isn't a good sign for me right now. If I don't like the trade, I'll flat. Let's see with the wee bit of buyer here. We're still washing it out. There we go, there's $400. Could have timed that a bit fucking better, but I never so. We'll rotate back down. If we're gonna go up, it will go down first. So all I'm really doing is looking at this. I don't care about anything else. I also don't care about a chart. The only thing chart-wise I'll have up is a TPO chart. I don't like ATASes, but that's it there, and there's a lot to learn about that. But you're not here for that. You're here to learn to read the ladder. So let's just focus on the ladder. So see the market's rotating back in. Seller, you might see that, just that complete bang there, momentum punch. So there's definitely a seller here. Look at NQs, are they selling NQs? Yeah, just look at the volume coming in here. They're all gunning for it. But the market did open with a strong bid at the 19 level, so I'd be looking in and around the 19s to see if we catch a bid again, if the buyer's still there or has he completed his business for the day. So we've got VWAP here, so we generally see buying at VWAP. There you go. So we had a nice bounce there at VWAP. Yeah, it wasn't much, grabbed you a couple of points, maybe two at a push. Might sell it back off them. So all we're doing is we're just watching the flow of orders. So I seen a seller step in here, and I just jumped in the back of him. That's all I did. He's getting stronger now. So I would expect a further momentum to the downside, right? So basically what happened there, let's see if this level holds. So 400 went into sell and it never really ticked down. So the buyer's actually taking this in now. So I can tell by looking at this and the size to sell is kind of being washed out. I still would like a flush down to at least this 19 level. I'm just keep my eyes on NQ as well. NQ is a wee bit harder to track because it's so rangy and you get lost in the volume profile quite easily, and that's why I've got levels up on my Jigsaw software, because I can look at the levels rather than the volume itself. So he's getting rebidded hard here. There's that flush down. So we're still having a plate VWAP. You can see the buyer here, he's just rebidding that all the time. So let's see if this buyer holds his here, drops his bid. You can see the volume, see the bid ask volume is where the volume's been done. So we're doing a fair wee bit of volume at VWAP now. And this skittery thing is just the sheer speed it just went from the open. Somebody just dumped in huge orders. That's why you need to watch what you're doing trading the open, especially the first 5 minutes. Stay the fuck away from it. So NQs is kind of back up as high, so it seems to be leading the show right now. Seen a wee bit of absorption going on here. I'd rather it come back. It can dump from here, no bother. And all I've really done here is I've just basically front ran this 35 level for a quick scalp. Nothing fancy. And the reason was it was basically the overnight high. The overnight high was here, so every scalper like me is just going to fucking throw an order at that. It's going to bounce at least. And I don't know if there was news out that day or anything, so I'm just literally getting over the sort of nuances with the dome, ladder, or tape. So in theory, that's called the tape. This is time and sales. I'd call that the tape, not the ladder. But a lot of people call this a dome. Depth of market. So you see right now, VWAP is still holding here, but I know there's sellers up here. So I could potentially go along for a scalp and just get absolutely fucked. So we'll just let this let the big guys sort out what they want to do. We're not really doing much volume now, we're just sort of rotating ticks. For an open, I would maybe think, oh, there is news going to come out. Usually when it's like this, they're waiting on it. So values up at the 30s. This will move, VWAP will move throughout the day, as you know, point of control will move, and evaluator will move as well. So all things move around. And you just need to be aware of that. So this is called A period. This is the first 30-minute print, and then B period will be the next print. C period, blah 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 blah. That comes from the market profile, guys. So we're still in A period. You know, market's been up 10 minutes. Nothing's happening. I can still see that size teller on the tape here. NQ's still doing a bit of inventory at the highs, which is a bit of volume at the high, which is good to see. See if I can bring this out a wee bit actually. All right, cool. Oh, I see my bids come back. So we've got these bid levels, offer levels. What you find, some traders, um, they'll front run the big orders basically, and they'll turn up eventually, the big orders. You see that's buyer on NQs, 135. So somebody's wanting fucking orders filled here on the bid. Yes, the same skipped. 300. There's another 600. So right now this 37 is actually the Globex high. So if we take it, we'll probably run away and come back, and then we should be looking at a sort of decent little bid. Right now I don't see too much push in the market. This daft gauge thing, it's part of this. It's showing you the depth, the sort of strength of the buyers and sellers. There's that seller now. And Q's back to lower that profile. These are usually no bad scalps. Just can get a fill here. Don't run too much. Should have went faster than that. So I've seen these stacking offers coming in, and it's kind of slow to go down. It's also slow to go back fucking up. And there we go, nail it. Just about tagged me. Still buying into the tape. That's 200 quid. Yes, taking a wee run for the high. No, so there's the best part of 400 quid and just, two simple trades. It's just fucking watch the thing. That's it. Just watch the fucking thing. You don't need to turn up with any predetermined, tours or fucking um, analysis. It's just grab some levels. Just, grab a high, grab a low, grab the middle. There's a lot in the levels. There is a lot. There's the fucking levels come out your ears. I hear about levels and you're just like, what the fuck? I never knew that. But just being here and seeing the order flow is putting you in a better stead than, a chart of any sort. So let me see if I've got any charts. Not really. So I don't really use them because I'm purely just trading levels and, you know, where I'm expected to see traders front running. The scalpers will fucking front run everything they can get their hands on, and they'll belt it with size. If they can get a point or 2 points, 50 lots fucking pays good. Um, so the front runners are pains in the arses. Fair value gaps, things like this. It's just rammed with front runnings. But yeah, we can see that, VWAP's clearly held. With a buyer at VWAP who's quite willing to take in that selling size. But I'm still not convinced in the buying. I'd like to see it being a bit more violent, a bit more aggressive. Can still see that sell on the tape. He's re-offering that price. Not hard, but he's re-offering it. And Q's nearly back up the highs. It was that little blip. Plug in my charger. So ES is starting to take a bit of volume out at the high now. Right, we're starting to tick up. Picking up a bit of pace here. And Q's still farting around at the highs. I mean, the range we've put in so far, it's not that much. Even for a ES level, it's not that much. So the same we're sort of ticking up here on lowish volume, I'd say. The book's quite skippy. See it here? Skip, 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 skip. It's kind of signs there's buying in the market. I'd just like to see a bit more push here. We're up at a sort of, we just took the overnight high. I was considering once I seen the play, if you rewind it, rewind this video, how it played out here, I was considering a long back to the high, but starting to go. So the worst thing you can ever do right now is fucking buy that. I can guarantee it's coming back. It will come back. You see how that buying just kind of thinned out there? 25 at the high, there's not much, 9 behind it, 54. NQs, same idea, a little bit of trap volume up here. Sellers stepped in. So 205, so everybody's front running the current value high. So that's why that 200's sitting there. There's people going to front run this. There's that seller there. See him there? There he's there. See if we can get a backfill into that price. Might not get the backfill. No, we got it. Now you're just eyeballing it. You're just eyeballing. Is that seller turning back up? There he's there. NQs back at the high. I want to see this drop a bit on NQs. That'll give my position a bit of a nudge. Right, so it's ticking back up. This is ideally where you get in. So see that size there? Just get washed completely. Just instantly get reoffered there. Instantly. So fuck buying that. No, the trade's really, really wrong. Breaking, 44.50. I'd probably just stick a preemptive order in there. No, I'm only using a two lot, so I'd ideally using, if I'm using five lots, I'm fucking want to tick in here and eight tick stop. Just take the fucking $700 hit. I've seen what I wanted to see. I've seen the reoffer. I've seen this seller coming back at market. So when he comes back at market, you're getting these blips, these wee little momentum tails are called. Saying 129, get into the bid. Still bidding it, still bidding it. Putting the controls up a wee bit. Again, 37 there, just printed the high, 12, 15. There's a seller again. And Q's looks like it's easing off from the high now. Should get, if we take out this 11s, yeah, this will go now. I still see a seller on the tape, and then Q's. There he's there, back at market, doing my position favours. Bit concerned I get to the bottom of this profile here. Size to buy seems to be getting re-offered a wee bit. NQ is still piling down. Here is a good level get out because I'll probably get front run now and into VWAP. Don't want that. He's re-offering them anyway, so let's see if he can re-offer this down here. There's people front running me. And Q's could go bid here. To see if we can get another push from this seller. Bit of buying's come back in it. Yes. I've tested this level before. Don't see a buyer now. Come on. The price is sticking there. Might still flush, but I can see the price sticking at 36. We got another wee flush there. So as soon as we touch VWAP, another wee pop. So that's you just, free trade. You're what? In fact, wait a minute. I've got market replay. Let's see what this says. Let's keep an eye on my tote. Replay. Where the fuck did I get this one? Not a clue. Sorry, we've got it. So just a couple of wee trades there. It's $805. No take a loss yet. There's that sell there, whack it under revap. So, just three quick scalps after they open the first half hour period. Just taking our time, playing a couple of levels, front running them. There's a seller now. He's fucking smashing it down. I just got to set up my ladders. Flatten any dead positions. What the fuck was that? Fucking hell. Right, so Oh, we took a $25 loss there. Don't know what happened there. Just as well I flatted it. Right, must have hit a button here or something. Right, so the next trade I'm looking for is once they finish selling this. That's the next trade for me. So when I know the market's, excuse me, starting to go down, I'm looking for where the fuck that bid is now. It's going to turn up a few places. VWAP, 100%. Um, what I'd be more interested in is this a real buyer? You know, are these trap shots? You know, it's like fucking what's that? Count that up your head. Was that 1,500 trap shots here? So is there a real buyer here, or was this just covering? We'll find out when the market gets there, basically. So NQ is starting to leave that volume node. So these volume nodes here, these bid-ask volumes, you know, that's where the market's done volume. It will test it again, and then it will scoot away. There's a lot of long inventory here. Um, and let's just see if they can, you know, keep that inventory before the sellers just make them spear their position. So you see how the bottom of the volume profiles, you always get this sort of little action going on. It's one thing to keep an eye on. So we're starting to leave the print now. I'd be tempted on a short NQ position here. Just a little scalped into it, maybe here, $100, 5 points. Nothing happening yet, just rotating ticks. So when the market's doing this, there's no trade. You know, I seen that seller up there. He actually stepped in beforehand, about here, and then he shut the door here. When I see him come at market, you know, I get these little blips. They're usually like, you know, there you go. There's a couple of blips there. See them? That price was just instantly re-offered there. Sorry, rebidded. But does it hold? You know, you have to wait and see. You can't. Don't take a trade in the middle. Yes, VWAP point control, fine, but you're in the middle. The middle's fucking dangerous. It can go either way. You know, there's 260 buyers just get fucking laughed at there. Right. There's different players in the market. This is one of the problems. And I would say this year the large traders are not here. I can tell the way the thing's trading. It's like short-term market scalpers like me, and there's just fucking loads of us, and it's very mechanical now. If you look at the TPO stuff, and you know, it's very mechanical. When a big guy turns up, you know, I was always taught to fade a market bottom to top height, and you know, back before Trump turned up, it was easy. Um, you saw the trap, and bang, you get in, and you know, you're pulling off 10k trades with a 5 lot in ES, and you can just fucking leave it. You know, just bang, there's my stop. Maybe I'll cover a little bit, and it will go. It's not doing that now. In fact, it's not been doing that a fucking year, as in last year as well. So the scalping a few points is a safer way of doing this. I've seen me in trades for fucking hours just for Trump to say you get a new haircut, and then bang, the fucking thing goes nuts, and you're stopped out after, you know, been up, you know, 30, 40 points. You know, it's fucking horrible feeling. But so I always revert back to this. It's a tool in the tool bag. It's all it is. You know, you can start out scalping a point and look at that seller there. So that's a lot. That's just straight through the price. No fucking about. So we're coming into this area where I would expect the buy to show back up. Right, we can see the activity is now picking up, yes. So I've seen a fair bit of size been printing here and it's not moving. Could blip down. Right, there's a bit of size there. Right, I've all seen the buyers turned up here. So I'm looking at the size here. I want to see it come down. See how the aggression's kind of stepped away from the sellers now. I'd expect one or two more good pops. Mm, there's that price again. Okay, it was a wee bit early with that, but I'm willing to hold this here. Look at this size again. 280 to 90. Let's see if this buyer rebids. Right, there he's it. Yeah, they're fucked. I'm still eyeballing this. I still see the buyer at market. He's taking it in on the bid now. And look at all this trapped inventory here. It's a lot, especially for NQs. So we're still matching on the bid here. As soon as we down tick, we up tick. 226 to sell, never tick down. 150 in the bid. Right, so the sellers are going to get up this sort of shortly. Where would that be out to be safe? We what? As a scalp. There's that last punch. Is it rebidding? Yep. He's been rebid every time. There's that last wee dance. Usually get a last wee dance, and then they kind of 13 to print at the lows, 14. Still watching this. I should instantly uptick from here. I should backfill and then straight uptick. they'll eventually get up the ghost, and when they get up the ghost, they'll bid. They'll just bid to get out that. They'll be like, shit. As soon as you'll know when they get out, they'll just fly up, 2 3 points. I mean, even that's a decent wee scalp, yes. Take that out here. Sorry, NQs. See how we still come back to that fucking price? We're instantly rebidding it. Back again at that price. Still ticking into that price. Still rebidding it. Seller at market, rebidded straight away. Instantly rebidded. Just front one rewrap. Probably better than order on front out, but the buyer's took in, fuck. Although that's saying 180 now, that is at least, 1,500, 1,000 lots of that tick. Just constantly getting shot out and absorbed. We're now getting front runners at VWAP. 380 to sell, 250 will still rebid in the market. The buyer's still taking this in. 400 to sell at the tick. Blip down. These are good blips. I like these blips. Usually when it backfills like that, it just fucking pings away. Bearing in mind this was my entry here, so when I added in, it fucking screwed up my P&L, but that's cool. And Q's back down at that level again, so is his S to be fair. There's that price again. Trapped again. When the big guys are in the market, It won't walk back. It'll just fuck right off. But they're not here, so they're not here for good reason. There's too many wars and Trump and fuck knows what. They're scared to put money behind us now. And that's not me talking pish. That's came from, Peter Resnick, fucking Jim Dalton, all the top profilers. So there's a whole lot of absorption being played out in these 25s, potentially doing it into 24s. There's just a buyer just taking it all in, taking the whole fucking thing in. So you think you starts to go on a walk. There's that little bid there. That's what I was looking for. Still selling it, but they're not getting anywhere. So I'm still seeing this absorption and rebidding playing out here. Prefend Qs can go another wee bust up. Seen a bit of selling come in here. There's a buy on the yes now. So he's trapped all that inventory. And Q's paid again. Yes, up at VWAP. If the buyer came in here and he fucking shut the door on, 3,000 lots, he's not going to run up to VWAP and fucking pull the plug. He's got 3,000 fucking lots to sell. So he ain't doing it there. He's doing it up here, potentially higher up, if he keeps this absorption plane coming in. So NQ is leading the battle right now. Now we'll get people front running VWAP, point of control and all that here. So I mean, I obviously don't need that. I could stick that there and still make some decent money in this trade. Well, obviously replay, but I'm playing it out in real time, real life. Once this clears VWAP, we should see a lot more buying come in. There we go. So we're kind of tape starting to speed up a wee bit. See the speed of the reloading on the buying is pretty fast. They're not fucking about now. I'd ideally like to run that level here, which gives me that. See the speed, sheer speed of reloading the bid. It's just instantly ticking up. People front running that level now. Still seeing size in the tape. It's just a bit slower than normal. You know, at the end of the day, it was near Christmas, so who's really in trading? There's that bid there. Still ticking up. You can't get involved with every tick of fucking order flow. It's not going to work. You know, it's orbit levels and where size traders were previously bidding or off on the market. That's it. You know, I jumped in these 20, where did I get in? 24, 25s because, you know, I've seen this trapped inventory and I've seen the buying starting to soak in here. They do all the work in the bid first. You know, they'll just take it in, 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 and then start coming at market a wee bit more aggressive. You see they're coming at market here a wee bit more aggressive. So as a holiday, so I kind of picked this day because it's slowed down. When the market's going nuts, it can be hard to get a grip of the thing. It just takes experience, just time learning, and just concentration. That's all it is. You know, don't turn up with some fucking crazy tour analysis, and then because it doesn't play out. The problem with that is you turn up with the market should go down to the market should do this today. Like, no, you've got millions of traders around the world fucking doing the same shit. Yes, it's ticking up quite nice. This is an aggregated table, so 0 jumps to 50, 0 right, so I've aggregated this just to take out some of the noise of it. This should have been, you know, spent with RB period, so I mean, this trade should have been done in 5, 10 minutes. That's how I can tell. It's no, it's not quite the strong players. And what you can do now is just, you know, just stick that there. It's a fucking free trade, you know. Just stick it there and leave it. Don't have it fucking away up here. You're just going to get stopped out. You can see the market's clearly bidding above VWAP now. So I don't quite agree with moving stop losses. Once they're in, they're fucking in. Once the market runs away, yes, maybe 5, 6, 7 points. You know, you can cover it. You know, it's just a cover. You know, if it goes to shit and we get tape bombed here by a seller, you know, we still make money in the trade, so who gives a fuck? Um, but on Jigsaw, you know, I'm in my 8 tick stop loss. It's, you know, but I'm monitoring these price levels. And sometimes I'll just I'll get, you know, a couple. It doesn't take much, just a wee fucking boom, a wee wick down, a wee blot of money's come in and stopped me out. It's not a big deal. Just get back in the trade. Fuck it. Um, so this is a sort of classic fade trade, I would call. It's a reversal. I don't know what people call it, mean reversion and all these things. And this is what I was kind of taught to do with the ladder. But I was only taught the fucking ladder. I wasn't taught the levels, so I had to go and figure all that out myself. Just using market profile and stuff. But even at that, you don't even fucking need that. It's You just need to have a couple of things here that, if I show an example of my jigsaw, you would see it's plagued with levels in the notes. That most are automatic. There's 273, getting somebody's wanting to buy this. So people call that absorption. You need to be careful with that. As you see there, that 273 printed here, which is sitting there at that 420 level. So that's the 83s, 683s. So, does it down tick much and then just both go? So you need to be very, very careful with absorption. It shows intent is what I always say. There's intention there to buy this, and they're willing to throw, 200 lots at NQs. That's mental money. Um, but it shows intention. So be careful with absorption. Wee bit of selling coming in here because that's the current value of the high, so it'll be front run. The front runners are a pain in the ass, but at times I'm a front runner, so who cares? If you jumped in there for a point, a point's 4 ticks. So right now I'm a point difference there. So I was 1, 2, 3, 4. So 600 is the point. And you should really be starting from there, grabbing a point. Even if you're just using an 8 tick stop loss, and see that's what I was saying about them just dumping it out. So that selling there, although the front running this level, it could also have been the buyer who was buying here has actually offloaded some lots, and needs to get paid at the end of the day. It's not quite a race to the high or the low. It doesn't work like that. It's the buying and sell. That's all it is. You know, you don't need to make this some sort of science project. I'd expect a rebid of fucking VBAT for fuck's sake. There you go. Look, boom, instantly rebid. Just fuck off. So now the front runners are sitting here. Bang. And we're still doing a fair bit of size in NQs. It's 42, 26, 13s. Not much to sell. Trapped inventory here. So I've been front running now. Of course, I could pull the plug here, but I'd like to think we'll get back up to value at high at least. If anybody, any size sellers, the size sellers are up here, and the size buyers are down here. It's that fucking simple. Just don't turn it into a science project. Just keep it fucking simple. They bought all the inventory down here, and they're going to run it up and sell it. And if they need to come in at market and push the fucker up, they will. Um, Once the big, massive traders come back in 2026, I don't know. Once Trump settles down, it maybe they'll take heed, and when they're in, you just know this trade would have been done fucking 15 minutes ago. Yeah, I know when I see these folk, they're aggressive, and it's good. You just run off the back of them. You know what I mean? You're just, let's go for it. So I'm only using a two lot on, yes, that is my sort of average on a PE account. I'll just two lots, you know what I mean? I can take the hit on, what's an 8 tick stop loss? It's $200. I mean, sometimes even putting that a bit wider, maybe give me $400 loss. It's not bad. I can sort of make that back. Um, and if they took the value at a high, I potentially would raise this, especially into this level, $1,000. And this is what I mean by you, you need to remember you're in the middle here. So you're going to get selling, you're going to get buying. As soon as we hit VWAP, I can see the buyers turning up. So there's a bit of selling coming in the NQs. See if NQs lifts it just about. Yep. Looks like we might get stopped hitting this trade. So there you go. There's that selling coming in. Rebidding straight away under VWAP. Yeah, rebid the VWAP again. Boom. Looks like we're going to get this order out at VA high. No, if that goes, this is nearly a 10-point trade, and that's, you get 5 points, fuck, 2 points, repeat it a couple of times a day, it's fuck. And all you're doing is just sitting watching it. There's no special tricks going on. There is a couple of things you need, like rebidding, re-offering, you've probably heard me talk about, but I need to sort of teach that. That's quite a nuanced wee thing. There you go, so we're out there. Flat, cancel. So yeah, I get in the trade because I seen the buyer taking in the orders. I'm not giving a fuck what's going on in here. Even when it came back to my price, I never shat myself. I never pulled the plug. Oh fuck, bail $100. It's going down. Fuck, fuck, fuck. It fucking rotates all the time. It just constantly rotates, and that rotation is just, a buyer or seller is just taking the orders in. He's just taking the whole fucking shooting match in. They're buying as much inventory as they physically can. If that goes all the way back down here to now, he'll just buy more. You know what I mean? It's just by the end of the day, or he's maybe sitting fucking 5,000 lots long in the S. He's maybe dropped, a couple of fucking thousand up here, but you don't know. You don't know. He could be fucking holding that next week. Or you just don't know the intention behind the orders, but you don't really give a fuck. Because this pattern plays out, every day. It's the rebidding, the trapped inventory. It plays out every day. It doesn't matter if the market's all-time high or all-time lows and fucking the weekly VWAP and fucking what? Do you think fucking large traders will get time for all that pish? They're just, they need to get orders done. They lose their job if they're long bid, 2,000 contracts above VWAP. They're out the door. Boom, see you later. Egypt, the buying's under VWAP, the selling's in Tapia. It's That's why it's just sitting there on my ladder like that. Doink, eat them here. But this is a classic, fade trade where you're just buying the low and you're running it up. I mean, So the value area is now, you see that wee print there? That just didn't, that two orange boxes flew up. So value is starting to run now. Value is starting to increase to the upside because the buyer's just constantly banging size at this. The point of control and VWAP I'd expect to move up as well in time. But I mean, for that, just these couple of little scalp trades, nothing daft. It's, that's 3280 on the pocket. It's not did anything stupid there. I'm using a 2 lot here and a 1 lot there. It's. I've also not been sitting in trades for fuck knows how long. Um, but I've got mates that started trading and I don't know what the fuck they were playing at. Obviously, just you learned off YouTube and just get fucked. Um, and I can see how they get fucked because this is just a fuck show. Who can fuck who? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? That seller's no selling all that for a laugh. You know what I mean? He's fucking trapped now. He's fucked. He's either bid to cover and just, oh, fuck this. But I mean, even him, whoever it is fucking shot, 2,000 contracts here. It's like, what the fuck? But they'll play this out the day. So that position there might come back later on in the day when the market, liquidates or whatever. And he collects all the inventory at the bottom. So they've not got stops like us. They don't need to get fucking out in 8 ticks, but we do. We're retail traders. We've not got that money. Um, that's what you should be aspiring to be, a fucking size trader. I mean, even getting yourself up to like 5-10 lots. I mean, that's a sized retail trader. And if you're just even point scalping with 5 lots, it's fucking even 2 lots. It's $100 a point. So sitting day 5 a day is 500 quid. Like, cunts are just making that too hard for himself, I think. Here's resistance, here's support. You're like, nuts no. If you've seen my jigsaw, you would see all the levels on it and you'd see them integrating at these levels. You see how the market just constantly has a square go at these levels. We've seen a wee bit of chopping and fucking around at VWAP and folk coming back in at VA high, and the point of control is always messy. But you don't give a fuck. You seen what happened here. So the buyer's not going to go, oh, fuck, no, I'm done. There is days where it's volatile and it's fucking aggressive, like the other day with the sort of huge liquidation. I think it started out as liquidation, turned into there was bad news flying about and it just vomited the fucking place. But you could see where the position was at the bottom anyway, so that's a whole new different subject. That's volume profile, the TPO charts, and all that crap. And you do need to be mindful of it. But I mean, look at his buyer. He's raising value. He's not giving a fuck. Still, there we go. So where I was ideally probably going to take this out was 40s. So that'd have been a nice scalp. And it is all just a scalp. It's all us day traders are just scalpers. Sometimes you catch an absolute banger right off the bottom. Midday. I like the midday period, so I'll trade the open, then I'll come back on like. Well, it's 10 to 8 now, so I wouldn't be back on at this time. But 6, 7 o'clock, just getting ready for something. You always get a wee afternoon shuffle. You don't need to trade the open, right? So especially for the newer traders, if you're no level aware, don't fucking trade the open. It's there's a few things going on at the open. There's a lot of fucking cash, a lot of bookkeeping. So large traders are dumping, 2,000 lots in the open, not giving a fuck. They're not intentionally trying to sell it. They know there's going to be huge order flow, liquidity at the open, so they'll just dump it in. But they might have bought it fucking 3 days ago, so they're not giving a fuck. And you'll get duped into the, oh fuck, the market's going down when there was no intention it going down anyway. It's just rotating. It's just the ES, NQs, futures, they're all speculation markets. Nobody gives a fuck about them. Nobody gives a fuck. They're pretty much hedged against SPX and QQQ. The large traders will just offload positions into the ES, NQs, to hedge against other positions. That's their stop loss. They don't have fucking stop losses. They get run it otherwise. I have no idea what the fuck they do, but it's just pure speculation. It's fucking rammed with traders, which is good because it holds a structure then being rammed with traders. Um, yeah, I mean, you'll see this trade took what, half an hour to run. What's that, 10 points? It's a fucking joke, you know what I mean? But, it was a holiday period, blah, blah, blah. So I did want to intentionally show the tape as it slowed down a bit. January this year, it's been kind of spicy, but it's been respecting levels. So for folk like me, it's worked out great. But if you don't have a framework in your head, I can see how you're just going to get absolutely roiled quickly. Um, so you need to have levels in your head. You need to know where the open is. Where's the fucking open? I think it's down here somewhere. 19s, I think we opened, which is, oh, this fucking ladder. 19. So we opened, right, so we opened there and we instantly bid. Um, these are kind of giveaways for trend days. It's called an open drive, it opened, it back ticked, two ticks, and fucked right off. But for you to catch that, how do you know that's how do you know it's going to happen? Inventory was horrendously short, but it doesn't need to correct, within that. It doesn't actually need to correct that day, but 80%, 70 to 80% of the time, it'll correct within the hour. It'll correct within the initial balance. So the all the other fucking size traders know that. So you're going against them. It's it's not going to be a good idea going against these boys or girls, whatever it is. Who cares? It's a lot more. Um, it's a lot slower. I mean, it's a lot slower. You can get a wee bit of size in the market, because your sort of risk is done. If the market's fast, it's volatile, then you're down size. You're down to a one lot. And I've seen me getting like $500 a 10-point trade in fucking seconds when it's volatile because every country running levels and it just bounces. Um, this is a wee bit better. You can just sort of sit and read it, watch it. You know, the big tip is just let A period play out. Let the first half hour, let them fight it out. Once B period prints, you've got sort of some sort of daily structure now. You've got some sort of volume profile to work with. You've got a high and a low from A and its halfback, but that's all TPO pattern, so um, that's a whole different learning curve that, and I'm still fucking learning shit about that as well. But in terms of the ladder, I mean, I know when I know what I need to see to get me into a trade, um, and that's it. I just see this absorption playing out around about 25s. That's not quite telling the full story because there was a lot more orders there getting fucking fired into it, especially these two levels. So we're just getting chucked in and it wasn't moving. NQ's done the same. Wherever I was bidding on NQ's, it's just done the exact same. So the only thing you need to watch is this fucking inside print, right? Um, I generally call it the tape because that's timing sales and that's what that is. This ATAS is crap, so I prefer Jigsaw as it does highlight it way better. You can fuck about with the settings and go in and change all this, but I can't be arsed with it. I'll just use Jigsaw. And you can just see the heavy block orders coming in. You can highlight a lot of things, and you just know that you're guaranteed a point. Just wait till it back ticks, bang as a point, bang as a point. You know, for even one lot is $50. 10 a day. It's fucking near 500. Call it 11. Cover the comms. It's $500, man. Just for sitting, going bang, 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 bang. And you can see the order flow here. You can't see a fucking thing with a candle. Not a thing. I genuinely just don't like that. I've never really. Anytime I put a candle on a screen, it throws my brain off. The thing to take away from this is you will see it. Um, like this, the way NQs is trading now, we've got quite a decent bit of volume here. So if it was gone in range, it will range from the sort of bottom of it to the top, bottom to the top, bottom to the top, and then boom, it'll either go straight up or straight fucking down. So always keep your eyes on these. That's cumulative volume, so that's a wee bit harder to read, I'd say. But this is perfect for just noticing where this little volume nodes are appearing. You don't need any fancy software and just a fucking ladder and you know 30-minute chart. That's all a TPO really is. It's just a 30-minute chart. It's nothing fancy. It's just more detailed in the TPO itself, but it's a whole new different. It's a whole different thing. The rebidding, the reoffering, I can go through in a separate video if anybody likes this one. And the rebidding is probably key to it. And I've been a trade here, I've been to buy it, and I've been to sell it, seeing that there's intention to buy this, so could cycle here. I mean, this is a high, so we could do a rotation back down. Um, but try and no buy this for fuck's sake. It'll zip out and it'll just snap back right in. The next minute you're staring at a stop loss. The real bid is where I was buying. It's down here. That's seller's territory. Um, Being quite a smallish profile, you'd maybe catch a bid here. They've got ledge here, so that's a good level here. You can see there was a decent wee bit of volume done here. And then the obvious ones, see, there you go, POC, VWAP, blah, blah, blah. Stuff you already know, but what you could do is tie your chart skills with this and confirm if you're right. If you're, you know, trading resistance, does the seller turn up? Is he on the fucking tape? How's it coming into that level? Is it coming in at fucking 2,000 mile an hour? You're like, I'm a fuck selling that. But a lot of chart traders will just put the fucking order in willy-nilly. It's madness, absolute madness. I need to see that. If I don't see that, I ain't touching the trade. I'm just not touching it. I've been there, I've done it. I've had a bash around top step X, and I'll do all right. I'll get a payout, and then I'll just fry the account. I can't keep them with the chart stuff. It doesn't matter about time frame I go to. I'll be doing it a 1 minute to see the microscopic levels. Nah, it's fuck that. But I'm just used to seeing that. This has been my territory for the last 3, 4 years now. I've put a lot of effort into this and what this means, and just get your levels off your chart, wherever you were thinking about trading, and see how this plays out at your level, and it'll fucking 10 times your trading. And maybe you'll just take to this and think, fuck this, bang bang as a point, bang bang as a point, bang bang, fuck this, there's 2 points. You're done. And even the open this morning, I was 2k in like fucking 10, 15 minutes because they just kept failing the open. The open was here, market ran up, seller just went bang, 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 boom, sell it, nice rotation back down. Did it again twice, like I did the bid and NQ. Did it again, bang, okay, here we go again. Boom, computer off. The open's important. Yesterday's close is very important as well. I'll show you Jigsaw one day and you can see all the levels. Kind of working a wee bit blind here. But again, don't overly need them if you're kind of tuned into this and you're looking at where people or the buyers stepped in before and where the sellers stepped in. It gives you an idea what the fuck's going on. Everything in the middle can be kind of nonsense. You've seen how it just kept rotating round about VWAP and then jumped up, nearly got my prof and came all the way back down, nearly took a stop and all the way back up. So it's just rotating. It's normal shite. That's all it is. Um, so hopefully this has been something informative. Obviously, you can ask me questions and, you can watch this in a bit of detail. I don't know how long this video's been going on for, probably an hour odd. But I'll put this in a Google Drive account and you'll have that. You can sit and fucking watch it at night for however long you need it. And that's it.